Hi everyone. In this video, we're going to walk through how the course appears in Brightspace, how it's organized, and where you go to get which types of information. Okay? Now, to get started, you first have to access Brightspace. So go to the UMS portal, and here I've got it open here, and then go to the Launchpad. If it's closed, just open the Launchpad and find the icon for Brightspace. It's this orange circle with a B in the middle of it. So we click on that and it opens up a new tab in our browser that takes us to the launching pad for Brightspace. And then find our course for this summer session. And I see it right here, EHD 510 for 2022 summer. It's inactive now, but it will be active by the time you see this video. So I click on that and it takes me to the course homepage. Now let's take a little look at how what's here. At the top we see a list of tabs that you'll select. We'll go through each of these in a minute and kind of see what they give us. The first one is the course home, which is this one. If we click it, it takes us back to this page. We have the title of the course. Over on the right, there's a little description of me with an outdated photo. I need to update that. And then on the left, there will be the most recent announcements. One place where you can see the announcements that I've posted for the course. So you can kind of see them here as well once you log in. All right, so that's the course homepage. The next tab over is content. So let's click on that and it takes us to the content section for Brightspace. And here we see, once we do that, there's a menu that opens up on the left side here with lots of information, and let's kind of walk through what this is showing us. First, kind of the most importantly probably, is the weekly schedule. And here's where you're going to see week by week by week over the course of the summer, kind of each week's material unfolding. They'll steadily become available here. That includes links to important things, links to videos, handouts, slides, stuff like that will be where you'll find that. So let's take a look, for example. Let's look at week number 1. So we click on that and it would open up if it was already open for week number 1. And it tells us at the top, it's the week 1, May 9th. I kind of organize my weeks Monday to Monday to Monday. And then at the top of week 1, in this little window here, it's going to have all of the information, I should say, for week 1. At the top of that is just a summary of everything that's in in week 1. So it tells you the readings. Here's the readings from our text for this week. The videos, just the titles of the videos with links, so you can kind of jump to them very quickly right here. Then it tells you what's due this week. Nothing is due week 1. And remember, things are due, unless I tell you otherwise, it's due 11:59 p.m. on that Friday, but nothing's due the first Friday of class. And then it tells you what you should be working on, which is just at this point in time, as you're finishing up this material, what are things you should be able to do? Just a way of kind of helping you keep moving along. It's my way of kind of prompting you that you're now ready to be doing these things. And we see right at the start, we should be able to do assignment number 1, the bios and background forum, assignment 2, and forum number 1 discussions. We'll talk about all those when we go through the syllabus video. You can see that. Then below the summary, we have a whole series of more detailed information and links. So you'll see it kind of follows the week-long sequence, very kind of organized here. So like the videos, I should say, you just follow the videos step by step by step, and it's kind of all laid out in the order of the videos that you'll be watching. We start with, here's the video, Introduction to EHD 510, just some kind of background information on me. That video, the syllabus review video is here. There'll be another link to this video once I finish making it. We'll post here. Then it gets into the videos for week 1, beyond those introductions, Prisoners of Silence, videos. You can see here there's 2 links here for 2 different videos. I tell you how long they are so you can kind of judge that as you're deciding to watch them. Video review for chapter 1. Then notice there's a link. So here's a link to the videos for chapter 1 review. And then I've got a link to a handout that goes along with that. And this is just printable slides that I'm using in that review. So if we click on that, let's actually do that. I'm going to open it in a new tab. If we look, here are the slides for that week 1 chapter review. So that's very handy, and you'll notice I do that a lot, that I will give you the slides for the different videos that I'm using. Print out the slides, use them as your reference. When you're watching the video, use them for taking lecture notes. Don't just save it as a PDF. Seriously, print it out and just write your notes as you're watching the videos directly on the slides. I've made these so that they can be a very detailed lecture notes for you. So take advantage of that. I've had students, too many students over the years, that get halfway through the semester or further and they come back and say, holy cow, I should have been printing the slides all along. It's so much more efficient once I start doing that. So take advantage of those resources. Remember, the quizzes are all open book, and it'll be a lot easier if you've got the slides right there to help you. Okay, so there's that handout for the chapter 1 review. Then here's videos related to chapter 2 and the handout for chapter 2. Notice I try to break the videos into nice manageable chunks of 2 minutes, 9 minutes, 5 minutes. Try to typically keep them under 20 minutes. Just a way to help you kind of make steady breaks as we go along. The handout for chapter 2, those videos, and then after the videos, so we start off, I list the videos, just watch them in the order for that week, and then things that you can be working on. Here's links to those very items I've identified in the kind of at the top, things you should be working on this week or could be working on this week. The assignment 1, here's a link to assignment 1 where you're entering some background information about yourself. The bios and backgrounds forum, where you're doing the same thing, but now it's shared with the whole class. The assignment 1 is just shared with me. This is kind of just introducing yourself to your fellow classmates for the bios and backgrounds forum. And then the prisoner of silence videos and an impression paper that you need to be doing. So here's links to that, and then where you can upload your impression paper for that. Remember, this is all in the syllabus, and watch that video a little bit as well. And then a link to the Form 1 discussions. So it kind of, everything that you need to be doing in week 1 is right here. It's kind of summarized at the top with then links for everything that you should be doing. So I try to be very organized as you're going through this. When week 2 comes, week 2 will appear, and you'll see week 2, then 3 and 4. They'll all kind of unfold over the course of the summer. Now, they'll actually unfold at a more accelerated pace than that. I'll release them a little quicker than just once a week, so that you can get ahead if you want. Some students like to finish up early. So we'll kind of build that in. I'll release them a little faster than just one per week. So you'll notice we may be on week 3, but maybe week 4 or 5 is already posted. And that's okay. Again, it's just so that you can get ahead of the curve if you want to finish early, or you're going to be taking vacation or something. Okay. Yeah. So that's the weekly folders. Use that weekly schedule, because everything's right there for you. Then going back to the menu, we have tests and quizzes. So let's open up that. Here's where you're going to see links to each of the quizzes that we have. If you've seen the video on the syllabus or checked the syllabus, you know we're going to have 10 quizzes. So here's where you're going to see links to all of those. At the moment, only quiz 1 is available, and I'm kind of showing that at the moment. At first it won't be apparent. These will become available as they become available in the week to week those weekly schedules back under the weekly schedule. So the weekly blocks. Once we cover everything for quiz 1, once everything for quiz 1 is available in the weekly schedule, quiz 1 will appear. Once everything for quiz 2 is available in the weekly schedule, quiz 2 will appear. So you're able to kind of go, they'll just steadily show up as we're going along. Okay, so here's just the link. You click on that, it takes you to the quiz that you can do. Then the next tab down is assignments. Remember, there's also 5 assignments outside of the quizzes that we're doing. Here's links to the assignments. And kind of the same thing, they will become available as the semester unfolds, or as the summer unfolds. Right now, assignment 1 and 2 are available because you can do those right now. But you need to watch a couple videos. You need to get, it'll be a few weeks before the assignment 3 and 4 will be available, because there's, again, some videos you're going to need to watch before you're ready to do that. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Let's go back. Content. So that's the assignments. So again, you'll see those showing up. And just again, links to go to them. The discussion forums. Then we have several discussion forums. Now this is also part of the grade. There's your contributions to the discussion forums are part of your grades, but it's easy points. So you want to make sure you stay caught up in the discussion. So here's the links to the bios and background forum. It gives you the date. Notice I like to tell you, kind of reminding you when things close, when you need to do them by. And then each of the different forums. So the first forum, the second forum for chapters 5 through 8, they're all here. And you can click on that and just upload your thoughts, join the conversation, get those points, make your entries. And then there's 2 additional forms that I've added based on, well, the first one's based on student feedback in terms of news. One of the things I've heard back from students with asynchronous courses like this is it's hard to stay in touch with each other. You may have friends that you've taken other courses with in the class, but being we're asynchronous online, you don't get to kind of check in and see how you're doing or share stories. So news is kind of where we do that. This was where you can talk about anything. Students have posted for news. I've bought a house. I have a child. I've adopted a dog. I've taken a trip, getting married, all sorts of things. People will put just to share with each other in the news form. It's ungraded, completely optional on your part. And then general discussion is where you can post questions or observations about the content or material that don't fit into the normal forum discussion. So this might be, that you're, questions about kind of clarifying things or, general, again, questions, thoughts, observations that's related to the class, but not doesn't fit one of the forms. So again, kind of the best one I can think of is just asking for clarification on an assignment, what you're supposed to be doing, kind of how's the format that you're supposed to report those references or things like that. For different assignments you can post there. Okay, so that is the discussion forums. Additional documents. Here's some documents that beyond the readings that I'm going to reference that we'll be looking at over the course of this summer, and there may be others added as well, and this is where they'll appear. You'll also see links to them in the weekly folders, but you can get them directly here if time goes by and you can't remember which week they were in. Here's a link to the syllabus, the current syllabus, and then any updates that we may do later on in the semester. And then resources. This was a folder created by, it's kind of a little module created by CITL, I assume, that just has links for information on, to help students, both in terms of using Brightspace and Zoom, and just kind of doing well as a student in these sorts of online courses. So that's just there in case you want to use that. So that's the course content folder. Again, the weekly schedule. This is the core of the class. make sure you come here, watch those videos, get to download the slides, do the assignments, kind of working through those, and you'll be fine. Next tab over from content is course resources, and it's a little drop down menu. So we'll first look at announcements. This is where you will see the announcements that I post kind of as the semester goes along. Now there's nothing yet because we haven't started, but this is where I'll post kind of updates. Kind of what are we doing this week. I might post additional kind of supplementary observations or thoughts about the material that we're covering for a week. I might post things clarifying assignments. If students are asking questions, if several students ask the same question, I'll often post an announcement saying, several of you have asked about this, so I'm just going to share it with everybody, and I'll post an announcement. So pay attention to the announcements. It's vital. You can get very valuable, helpful, useful, key information in the announcements. Don't just ignore them. Now, you should get all the announcements via email as well. They'll go to your main.edu address. So make sure you're getting announcements as they come along, or make sure you're checking your main.edu if you're not using that already. You should check into it every day just to kind of see what's happening. See if anything's come up, and if you're forwarding the emails, make sure you're getting them forwarded. If something's happening and you're not seeing announcements, let me know so we can kind of figure out what's going on. But outside of getting them via email, they're all then posted here, kind of all archived that you can go through later on. Other resources, a class list. This is something else that I've added based on student requests that students have said, they like to form study groups, which I think is a great idea, or a study partner, but they don't know who's in the class. So students actually suggested, can I post the class list so they can kind of reach out to each other, because many of you have been taking other courses together. So this is just a way of seeing students who are enrolled this semester in this specific section of the course. Then there's a calendar that has the lists of due dates for things that are currently available. It won't have everything yet because they're not, some of the assignments and quizzes aren't available yet. So they won't show up until they're available, but you can kind of give you a sense of kind of what's due which days. I don't completely count on this. Because in the past it seemed that it was a little buggy, and I'm not quite sure why some stuff may not show up and others did. So, but it's there for the calendar. But I'll keep an eye on the official calendar is the syllabus. But this is another way, kind of within Brightspace, that it's trying to alert you when things are getting due. But again, the syllabus and those deadlines are the key. The other resources, email, sending email, or accessing Fogler Library. Oops, I don't want to do that. Then Summer University, some websites that the universities put together. Assessments. Let's scroll over to the Assessments tab. You could click on Grades, and here's where you'll see all of your grades for this semester. All right, so as things get turned in, you can see the different grades. All right. Oops. Then I'm going to jump down to quizzes first. Here's where you're going to see under quizzes, you see all 10 quizzes, and again, they'll appear as the material is introduced. As that material shows up in the weekly schedule, then those quizzes will become available here as well. But also notice assignment 1 and assignment 2 show up here. It's kind of a quirky thing with Brightspace that 4 of our assignments are going to show up as quizzes, just the way that they're created within Brightspace. They're quizzes technically, and Brightspace won't let me move them to the assignment folder. So assignment 1 through 4 will also appear under the quiz list. Assignment 5, let's go down. When we go to assignments, Assignment 5 is where you'll see assignment 5 under the assignments tab here. It's not available yet, but it'll show up here on the assignments tab here. But the other 4 assignments will show up under tests and under quizzes, I should say. Then discussions, here's another link to the discussion forums that we saw earlier. So it gives you a little more information about, tells you how many threads and how many posts there are. But it's the same discussion forums, just another way of accessing them through in Brightspace under the Assessments tab. And then also tools, some Brightspace sort of tools. We won't go into that, and help, where you can get help on different, whether it's Brightspace or other things. The IT help desk. Okay, so even kind of going back to assessments just a minute, notice there's the links under assessments for your assignments, the assignment number 5, quizzes, which are the 10 quizzes plus assignments 1 through 4, and the discussions. Remember, all of this is also available under the content tab. So really, everything's right there. Here's the assignments, and here I can organize it that it really is just assignment 1. Here's where all 5 assignments will show up under assignments in the content folder, and tests and quizzes will have just the 10 quizzes. So it's and then the discussion forums as well. So they also show up under the content tab. So really, again, this is content is where everything is there for you. And you really, even the assessments, you really just need to go to assessments to see your grades. But you can, like I said, you can access assignments, discussion forums, and quizzes through the assessment tab, but it's exactly the same thing. That's confused students new to Brightspace, that they think there's 2 sets of discussion forums or quizzes they need to be doing. Nope, this is just a duplicate of what's already in the content folder. Okay, that said, I hope this makes sense. If you have questions, let me know. You need to be comfortable with Brightspace because this is an online course using Brightspace. So if you have problems or something's unclear, shoot me an email. I'll be happy to talk to you more about it. Okay. Otherwise, it's exciting to be starting our summer together. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.